Let's get into that injury report, guys, because this is going to take a minute now. This is going to take a minute on just the injuries for the Browns. That's how bad it is, guys. It's getting like, this is like reminiscent of like a Giants injury report for the last couple of years. That's how bad it is for the Browns right now. So let's go over the Giants
first. Popcorn and let's hang out.
Did not practice. 2 guys. It's going to take a second. That sure is. Nick McCloud, first off, with the knee injury, still not practicing. So I think it's safe to say that since he's still not practicing, we will probably still not see Nick McCloud this week there at that point. It's a knee. You don't want to mess with it. You don't want to go too quick with it. If you do that, it's going to linger, and you don't have to let it linger. You don't have to.
Don't have to let it linger.
Otherwise, Isaiah Simmons also did not practice. Now, this is non-injury related. This is a personal matter he's dealing with. The Giants have not disclosed what that personal matter is, nor has he. To be very frank, it's not our business. If it's a personal matter and it's not a team thing, they're humans. They got things that go on in their lives at that point. He's been out the last 2 days with that issue. We don't know what it is, but he's expected to play on Sunday. So no issues there. Limited participation, guys. Linebacker rookie Darius Muasau with the knee injury is still limited in practice as well. They didn't give any indication as far as, if we think he's going to play or not there. I will say this, it's been traditionally, if you're limited in practice, it's just to protect you, and you're probably going to play. That's not a guarantee, obviously, but I would expect to see Darius Muasau back on the field there this week here. Also on there, Kayvon Thibodeaux was the new guy this week here. Shoulder injury. According to head coach Brian Dable, he is expected to be playing on Sunday there. So I think it's just them kind of being cautious to make sure we don't get him hurt at that point there. And that's it, guys. 4 guys. When's the last time we've had that little injuries on a Giants roster?
Yes. Week 1.
If I told you to start the season, we'd be going to week 3 with just 4 guys in the injury report, and one of them's not even injury, it's just a personal matter he's dealing with, and our offensive line would be doing awesome. You'd be excited, wouldn't you?
Be thrilled, ecstatic.
Crazy how life works, isn't it?
But they still lost 2 games already.
Yeah, exactly. So let's go to the Browns here. So did not practice. First off, Myles Garrett, all-world, all-pro, the guy who's just the star of the Browns roster there, foot injury. He did play last week with the same injury. They kind of had him at like 65% of the snaps instead of being out there on a much higher basis. I think that's probably what you're going to see this week out of him, guys. I think we'll still see him in the game, and we're not going to skip him as much as I'd love to see that happen. And they're just going to give him rest. They're not going to push him out there to the point where he's going to get hurt long term. If he gets hurt long term, they're in trouble. They know that. That's their best player they have on the entire team. They're not going to rush him back. So, tight end David Njoku, who got hurt week 1 with a shoulder injury, Pro Bowler, guy that took a little time to develop, and now has become one of the best tight ends in the league. I do not expect to see him at that point there. I think you'll see him probably within a couple weeks if you happen to be a Browns fan watching, but they're going to take their time. Same thing. They don't want to rush someone back and get him hurt. Running back Pierre Strong Jr., hamstring. Now, I don't know what's going to happen with him, guys. Here's part of why. To be very frank, I don't care. He's got 3 rushes on the season for 10 yards. That's not exactly the high-volume production guy.
No.
I don't think him being or not being in this game is really going to affect the outcome very much.
Probably not.
Probably not. Let's get to the guys that have that are limited participation. And this is where you got a whole host of big names here. So, long snapper, Charlie Hewlett, who's got a foot injury. Tampa guy from my neck of the woods. Browns snapper since 2015, guys. That's a long time with the team. So, limited participant there. Tackle DeJuan Jones. Remember him? Kid from Ohio State, like massive. This kid's like 350 pounds. This is like a big guy here. One of their 3 tackles they have a lot of confidence in. He's got a knee injury. Defensive end, Zadarius Smith, which is weird because I always think of him more as a linebacker. He's kind of an all-around pass rusher, more of an edge rusher. So they're using him more as a defensive end here. Three-time Pro Bowler. He's got a back injury. Cornerback Denzel Ward, shoulder injury. He's a three-time Pro Bowler as well. Now, he didn't play much last week at all. So his is one that's a little more concerning for them, especially because whoever their top corner is has to face Malik Neighbors. We actually have a number one wide receiver. It used to be you play the Giants, and who cares if my number one corner's out? They don't have a number one receiver. This is how this team changes now, by having Neighbors. This is how things are different now, by having Neighbors on this roster. So,
won't you be my neighbor?
Tackle Jedrick Willis Jr. He was one of the guys that came out of that group that came out with Andrew Thomas there. Knee injury. His starter, he's missed half of last season with the injury and also hasn't played yet this season. So he's a guy at 50-50 probably if he plays. Defensive end Alex Wright with a tricep elbow injury. So we got two different arm injuries there. Starter as well, third-round draft pick back in 22. Played in both games so far this season, so I don't expect him to miss any time either at that point there. Full participants, which is guys that are injured, but guys that did able to play the full, gambit, so to speak, of practice there. You always expect these guys to go on Sunday, barring any kind of setback. Jack Conklin, their starting right tackle with a knee injury. Cornerback Martin Emerson, the ankle and shoulder injury. He's got upper and a lower body injury. Starter, third-round pick back in 22 as well. Played in both games so far. Wide receiver Jerry Jeudy with a knee injury. Another starter there, former first-round pick, was the big off-season addition they got there from the Broncos. And then linebacker, and I never want to pronounce his full name, so we're just going to say J.O.K. Oh, my gosh. Let's try it. Jeremiah Owusu Koramau. Let's see if I said it right. We'll find out. Somebody let me know in the comments. There are certain names I just had that trouble with. Hand injury. He's a starter as well as a Pro Bowl last year too as well. So guys developed into a good player for them at their first kind of being like Isaiah Simmons. They didn't know was he a safety? Was he a linebacker? He's a linebacker, and he's a damn good linebacker now. So, but guys, look at that. Their star tight end is probably out. All three tackles they trust are on the injury list. The top three pass rushers are on the list. Their best linebacker is on the list. Both starting outside corners is on the list. That's a rough injury report for you if you're a Browns fan. That's rough.
Yeah, big time.
The Giants are so much healthier right now than the Browns are. We have to take advantage of that because you got to think injuries don't just affect your starting lineup. They affect your depth. Imagine trying to get into dime packages when both your outside corners are injured. It's not so easy anymore. You guys that don't usually play those roles, playing roles now at that point there. So, again, that's if they're out. I would love to see what happens as far as that, again, as it gets closer. But I'm just saying, there's potential for people playing roles they don't usually play, and that usually tends to cause issues.
Should be interesting.
The quandary with that is having Daniel Jones as your starter also tends to cause issues as well. So we'll have to see if he's able to, take hold of the opportunity, especially if some of these pass rushers are out or limited in action at that point. Like everything is lining up for the Giants guys this week.
Yeah.
Problem is the Giants are lining up as well.
See what you did there.
Yes, exactly. So I mean, that's where we're at. I just don't have any faith in this team until they play right. I mean, maybe this is cynic in me, and I've lost faith too early on. It's possible, but listen, it's 2 games in. We got embarrassed both weeks. We got embarrassed by how we played against the Vikings. We got embarrassed about how the front office prepared by not even having a backup kicker when the kicker was injured. I mean,
yeah. The only thing you take away from with the Vikings are the Vikings a better team than everyone projected without McCarthy there.
Yeah. So, I mean, I get it.
All looks like it's like they are a better team than most people thought. Surprised their defense is winning the games.
Yeah, I mean, you could definitely say that. Maybe we'll look back later on and go, that wasn't a bad loss after all. I just don't have any faith in Darnold staying good.
No.
Again.
But who knows? He be doing a Baker thing.
You never know. So
if you like that clip, then you will love the full episodes too. Find us on your favorite podcast app and look for us on all your favorite social media platforms.
Thanks so much.
Please, I'm begging you. Please subscribe.